I think what works really well, and I'm sure this is overused, but like
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Local Marketing Lab, where you get real-world insights from industry pros to help you drive local revenue and local growth. This podcast is brought to you by Evocalize, digital marketing tools powered by local data that automatically work where and when your locations need it most. Learn more at evocalize.com. Well, what's up, and welcome to the Local Marketing Lab. Joining us in the lab today is a guest with more than a decade of experience in sales and marketing in the mortgage space. If I could even say a complete sentence, that would be great. She's a busy mom. She loves iced lattes and walks on the beach. She's the host of Lending Forward podcast, director of marketing at Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. Hannah McManus, thanks for joining us in the lab, my friend.
hey, I'm so glad to be here. And I don't know if you know this, but pumpkin spice is back. So you can change. I should have told you now it's pumpkin spice cold brews that are my go-to. I was
Oh,
actually dreaming of one earlier, but I don't have time to go get one.
pumpkin spice is your cold brew vice, huh?
Well, in the fall it is. You have to go get one. It's life-changing.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with us today. If we could start, you've got some great experience over Atlantic Bay, but I'd like to hear a little bit about kind of how you got started and where you came from, how you got to the position you're in today.
Well, I'll give you the short version.
Perfect.
I was telling one of our sales teams this. I bartended all in college and I was gonna stay forever. I went to the University of Alabama, and once you're there, you can't leave.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And I was like, "Oh gosh, I probably need to go get a real job." And my degree's in psychology. I attempted to go do that for a little bit, but I didn't wanna go back to school. It was a whole thing. And so everybody was like, "Well, you're really good in sales. Like, you should go get into sales." And I was like, "Okay, let me go get into sales." I was my first job out of college. I was that annoying person at like a Costco or a Sam's Club that's trying to sell you DirecTV. I don't know if you know the person
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking about. But that was me. I did that. And I was really good at it.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. But anyways, I did it for a while, and it's a little bit of a pyramid scheme. Like, you have to kinda move to move up, and it took me out to Phoenix. I was out there for 3 months, and I was ready to come home. I didn't wanna do it anymore. I'm on the East Coast, and so my a guy that went to high school with my mom actually was running a AMC at the time. And he was like, "Well,
Mm.
we need a account executive. Do you wanna come try it?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what an appraisal is, but yeah, that sounds great." And that's how I got into the mortgage industry, like, straight into, an AMC, had no idea what I was doing, but I learned as I went. So, I was always on the vendor side, I was always on the sales side. I went
Mm.
from an EMC, learned that, I went and sold MI for a while. I spent some time at Lenders One, which is a mortgage cooperative, and that's where I met Atlantic Bay. And I started with Atlantic Bay about 4 years ago. I started managing really their joint ventures. They have, a handful of companies that they have ownership in, and they needed someone to, kinda manage all of it. That led to what I always call miscellaneous. Emily, my boss, laughs every time I say that. I'm gonna get a hat that says miscellaneous. It was really like miscellaneous projects that somebody needed to own, and I ran with that. And then about 2 years ago, marketing was just a big, project that I work really closely with Jessica Swink, who is our vice president of, digital strategy. And, we just knew we needed to make some shifts in marketing. We needed to kinda shift it up a little bit. And, with my sales background, sales and marketing kinda go hand in hand, and her and I work really well together. It just kind of was
Mm.
a match made in heaven, where I kinda took the brand and buzz, if you will. So I took, the creative side, the brand, content creation, and then, like, our PR strategy and all that. I have that side of the house, and then she is really focused on, the tools and the digital experience for our mortgage bankers, and our clients. And so that's really how I got into it. I've been in this role since January of this year, actually. So it's somewhat new,
Hmm.
but it's great. I've been with Atlantic Bay for over 4 years, and it's a lot of fun.
For sure. That's what I like about marketing. It's like I think most marketers could wear the miscellaneous hat
Mhm.
because it's like you try new things all the time. It's like every day is never really the same thing over and over.
For sure.
I used to work for Dish Network actually years ago, and I was an installer. And then after I graduated school, I moved into tax accounting, and I
Okay.
did that for like 3 months before I realized I cannot do this job. And I went back to school to become a marketer. So, but it's like the same thing over and over and over. It was just so monotonous.
Yeah,
Whereas with marketing, you get to flex your creativity muscles every day, and
you
it's a lot of
do.
fun.
And I think it's fun to try new things and fail at new things. Like, I
Yeah,
think it's fun to, "Hey, let's do this big idea, and if it sucks, it sucks." Like, we'll try something new, but I love coming up
exactly.
with new ideas to at least try, and, luckily, I'm at a company that lets us try that. I know there's some
Yeah,
that don't, but ours are like, "Yep, go see if it works."
yeah. I mean, that's those are the best environments to be in where the leadership allows you to fail and test new things because that's where
Mhm.
the best innovation comes from. I think also like a lot of folks, we're talking to a lot of LOs and like real estate agents out there, whoever are listening. And a lot of times, like, it's you talk about trying new ideas. When you have inspiration to try something, you just go and do it. Just try it.
Mhm.
And if it fails, it's totally fine. Like at least you learn something and then
Mhm.
you might find some good nuggets from the thing that you did and then you can improve on it and continue to optimize. But if you're never trying things, you're never going to learn what really works in your market.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, I think we're always our handicap, like,
Yeah.
I know we're gonna get into, social and I talk about social media all day long, but, one of the things that holds up our mortgage bankers so much, and I talk about this all the time, is they'll record one video and they're like, "Oh, it's not perfect, like, I'm gonna re-record it 80 more times." It's like, "No, just put it out there, like, nobody cares." Like, if you say, a couple times or you flub up your words, like, the overproduced content it's just not authentic, nobody cares, like, just be you and
Yeah.
get it out there.
It's literally the best time ever to do your own marketing because it's
Yeah.
super cheap. The thing is social media, everybody has access to everybody. It's just a
Mhm,
matter of whether or not you're creating content that is engaging and people don't like the average person is not a marketing leader or someone who's done marketing their entire life. So no one can freaking produce like, they're working at like General Mills or one of these big companies. It's like the authenticity wins because it's like that's the majority of content that people are putting out is stuff that's not overly
mhm,
produced. And that's what the algorithms pick up on. People
mhm,
engage with it. And it's just a rolling ball but the thing is, if you're not on board, it's like you can't take advantage of the movement. You know what I
for
mean?
sure,
So you have to put yourself out there and
mhm,
create some stuff, and then you'll just continue to learn and go from there.
for
But I
sure,
I do agree that you're your own worst critic for sure.
mhm. I mean, it's hard to I mean, I don't know if you go back and watch all of your podcasts, but
I
it
don't.
is hard to go back and, like, listen to your voice and you're like, "Ugh," like,
Ugh.
but that's what you sound like, there's literally nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I grew up in Buffalo, so I have like a naturally like nasally sound, and I'm like, and I'm like the nanny Fran Drescher. It's that's how I hear myself anyway. But
Oh
yeah,
my
it's bad
god.
to watch your own stuff, especially the old stuff.
Oh my
And
god.
everybody goes through that. Like, if you create content at all, you're gonna go through growing pains, but they say the best time to plant a tree is, like, 20 years ago, right?
Mhm,
And you can go back and you can kinda look at the growth but if you haven't done it yet, it's today, and you have to start. So you just gotta get past the idea that you're gonna feel like crap probably initially, unless you're like some superstar who could just like one take Jake, you jump in, and you just get stuff done. But vast majority of people are gonna struggle and you just gotta
mhm,
own it.
for
You
sure,
know,
for
I've got
sure.
my brother owns a basement finishing business and he just started producing content and he's the same way. He's like super self-conscious. And I'm like, "Just create it, dude, we'll put it out there." And, even the first video you make or first piece of content, you might not even push it live, but at least you made it,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And then the reps all, they all work together to make you stronger, but
And I think
yeah.
there's baby steps too, right? Like with video, we all know how powerful video is. Like we know video performs so much better than anything text, right? Like, and if you're terrified to put it on social, we'll start with a video text. Or,
Yeah.
we have tools now, I'm sure every mortgage company does, where you can do bomb videos or a video text, all of it. There's just take whatever your next step is and
Mhm.
make it a video and just do it. I mean, we've even had we've had mortgage bankers that they'll do a video text and they'll be like, "This is my first video text." Like,
Yeah.
"Congratulations, you get my first one." And it's just sweet and it's genuine and it's you. Like, that's all people want.
Exactly. Yeah, if you yeah, especially if it's horrible, if you come out and you
Yeah.
say it's your first one, no one's gonna be upset at that. Like, they're
No.
gonna support you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I
what are
think
some
too,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I get on this tangent, but I think too, like, we've all gotten this, I don't know, this weird vibe, ego, I don't know what it is, but, like, we all think that we're going viral all the time, and, like, we're not. Like, we're just not, and you don't wanna go viral. You really don't. Like, everybody, I think Kyle Draper says this, like, you really probably reach 100 people, which 100 people is awesome. But those
Yeah.
100 people know you, they see you all the time, like, you're just talking to them like you would talk to them if you saw them at this grocery store. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be this, like, viral sensation.
No, I agree. Uh, I think quantity, consistency, uh, those are really important, and those will ladder up to quality.
For
But if
sure.
I think in LinkedIn, like, at least this was probably about a year ago, there was some stat floating around that it was like 3%, maybe it was 2.5% of your audience that you're connected with, like your followers or connections, will actually see any given post that you push out there.
Mhm.
So, and it may have been as low as 1.5%. But the point is, like you said, you're not going viral.
Yeah.
So even if you have a couple folks see it, well, then the answer is volume.
Mhm.
And if you create a high volume of content, then every time you create a piece, you're increasing your chances of everybody seeing it.
Mhm.
Right. And then over time, the more content you create more consistently, more frequently, it's going to become higher quality because you're getting reps in and you're just doing it over and over and over. So if you
Mhm.
focus on anything, it's just focus on your consistency and the volume that you're posting, and that will all lead to quality and engaging even more your sphere.
For sure. Mhm.
What are some things that you've seen maybe because I know that you kind of help stand up the brand and at Atlantic Bay and kind of build it into what it is today. So like you've armed, the your mortgage bankers with different pieces of content, different collateral, like you've given direction. What have you seen works really well and maybe give an idea of something that really doesn't work really well from a local marketing standpoint?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think what works really well, and I'm sure this is overused, but, like, authenticity is for us and, like, for our marketing, it comes down to trust, right? I mean, yes, a mortgage is a transaction, but getting a mortgage is an incredibly emotional and big decision, and,
Hmm.
that's kinda what we focus on. People want to work with someone who they think genuinely cares about their situation, understands their community, and yes, there's a lot of numbers involved, but they wanna hear the story. They want to know your goals. They wanna, be part of it, and so that's really what we focus on. We don't, just wanna go into a market and put up a sign and say that we're here, I'm in Greenville, North Carolina. We're in Greenville, North
Hmm.
Carolina. Like, we like, we really want our mortgage bankers to be invested in the communities they serve, and so, our sales team, if you think about it, like, your neighbors, you're on the PTA, you're on the soccer field, you're volunteering, you're doing things in your community. You're not just a loan officer.
Mhm.
You're a trusted person in that neighborhood, and you need to leverage that.
Mhm.
So when I think of local marketing, like, I think of communities. I think of, you know, what is your local presence that is really building a different kind of relationship. One a relationship that's really personal and not just transactional. And, I think the thing with local marketing is it's not just about brand awareness. You're not yes, you're getting your name out there, but you're not just getting your name out there Mm, as a loan officer. Like, you don't wanna be the used car salesman, you wanna just be the
Mhm.
trusted friend, the trusted volunteer. You just wanna be that go-to that someone's gonna say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know Hannah," and whenever they are ready for that mortgage, they're gonna go, "Oh, yeah, Hannah does that. Like, let me call Hannah."
Mhm.
Um, Instead of the other way around. So, we focus a lot on showing up in the community, being present in that community, being helpful, being human, and just showing up consistently in the community that you are lending in, and not so much trying to sell, but just building relationships. And if you can build relationships consistently in your local market, then you're doing local marketing right.
Yeah, I had a guest on probably a year or so ago, and his whole thing was about being the mayor, and it's the
Yeah,
same thing. It's just like
exactly.
you go to all the games, like, I've got a guy, I actually have been talking about this on the last few episodes 'cause this comes up quite often, but he's a real estate agent in our neighborhood, and he's my kid's swim coach, he's the
Mhm,
lacrosse coach, and, like, every season, he volunteers to be the coach of something, and like you said, he's like a staple in the community before he's an agent,
mhm,
and at the end of the day, when something comes up, it's like, "Oh, yeah, I loved this guy," like, I trust the guy, whatever. So that's the one that you think of, and that's the one that you go with. That could be the same if you're talking to agents, if you're talking to, mortgage, or LOs, or really anybody in who has a local business. It applies, the same principle applies. It's like you wanna be present wherever you can, and so that when the opportunity does come up, they think of you, and they don't necessarily you're not going out just trying to inundate, everybody with requests for their business.
mhm.
You're part of their community.
For sure. I mean, we have mortgage bankers. I think you asked, like, what's some things that I've seen that go well and what doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Like, we have mortgage bankers, and I love seeing it. We have, they're hosting book clubs, they're
Mhm,
hosting Bible studies. We've got one mortgage
mhm,
banker that does like a bouquet building class, and she just did
mhm.
a charcuterie board
Oh, that's cool.
class. Like, it's just cool stuff that they do it in their office, but they open it up to the whole community. There's really no mortgage talk, but
Yeah,
they know that they do mortgages because, I mean,
yeah,
the truth of the matter is, and I think we all know this, nobody cares that you do mortgages until they need a mortgage.
yeah, yeah,
But they
and
just
it's not often.
need to know that you do them, so when they're ready, they're gonna call you.
Yeah, and you
Um,
wanna make sure you have that relationship so when someone they know, has an
yeah,
opportunity that they think of you too.
for
Yeah,
sure. And I think that too, and I think connecting or partnering, however you wanna say it, with, like, local businesses, that also that's where I tie, like, community and social media together, is when you
mhm,
can get in with local businesses and, you're hosting these events at their business, and you're tagging them on social, and you're posting about the event, like, that's where it all comes together, and that's when you really start seeing people do local marketing well, but on a
mhm,
larger scale, because now they've tied in social to it.
100%. I had a friend that he has a consulting business, and he said, "For the next 6 months," he said, "I'm not gonna do anything to drive I'm not going to focus on driving my own business. I'm going to focus on highlighting other people's businesses.
Mhm.
And within that 6 months, he actually doubled his revenue that he had coming in because he was focused on highlighting others. And
Mhm.
part of it's, you're giving, 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 giving. If you focus on giving, people love that and they respect
Mhm.
it and they feel like, they want to, have some sort of reciprocal relationship where they're giving back to you in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
But also when you do that, you're also on the social side, you're accessing audiences that already exist. Like you're talking about tagging and sharing and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Each one of these folks, these businesses, they all have their followers. And if you're associating yourself with them as a trusted party,
Mhm.
then those followers are going to start following you and they're going to want to learn more about you. Right. And, and,
Mhm.
and suddenly they're building this trust and you're nurturing them along.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, if you're not out there in your community and highlighting other folks, I mean, it could be as easy as going once, twice a week, going into the local gym or going into the
Yeah.
flower shop or whatever and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here talking with so and so about their business. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?" Let them talk about their business, post it, share it, tag them.
Mhm.
It's not at all difficult.
It's not. It's just I think it's just a different way to think about marketing, like, y when social came around and, there's just so much that you can do, it came around so fast, and it's really overwhelming to a lot, but if you really sit down and you just kinda strategize, like, "Okay, what is the goal of this year, or this quarter, or this month?" Whatever it is. "This is my goal, this is how I'm gonna get it. How can I leverage what I'm doing on the ground, because that matters. Like, what you're doing in your local community matters. But then how can I tie in just a little bit of social content? And it's as simple as, like you said, like
Mm,
tagging a business or just going into a local business and doing a quick interview. It has nothing to do with mortgages. It's just, I'm a human and I want to help my community grow, and this is what I'm doing. Um, and I think, for everyone listening, if you don't have a marketing plan like that, if you don't know what your goals are, start there and then really drill into, like, okay, if this is my goal, how should I market and who am I marketing to and what is, all the KPIs, and just start that way. And I think it'll be really helpful.
yeah, and come up with your ideas, even if you have a few,
Mhm.
and just get started on something.
For sure.
'Cause you can get kinda bogged down, it's happened to me plenty, but it's like you get bogged down in the planning, and
I
it's
know.
like, paralysis by
Jeez.
analysis,
For
and
sure.
you never really get started, but yeah, if you have a couple ideas and you feel inspiration, go and do it, and
Mhm.
you'll find once you kinda start going down a path, you may uncover new opportunities that you weren't thinking about or whatever, but you never will unless you start.
Mhm. For sure.
Another suggestion would be you could just leverage ChatGPT and type in what you're thinking of doing
All the
and
time.
give me some ideas. And it'll be like, boom, it'll give you 10, what are 10 local business types I could stop in this week? And it'll tell you where to look, you
Mhm.
know?
I mean, it's insane. If you're not on ChatGPT, I was joking about this the other day, like, I don't I it's probably making me dumber, because I
100%.
really do use it. I mean, like, it
Yeah.
makes my meal plans for me, it's planned trips for us, like,
Yeah.
I think we're now in a day and age, like, you just work smarter, not harder, and
Yeah.
ChatGPT can tell you. I mean, honestly, you can build your whole content calendar in ChatGPT. Like, tell them your goals, what you wanna do, "This is where I live, this is what I wanna focus on," and I mean, it'll build the whole thing.
It cranks. Yeah. And when you said you feel like you're getting dumber, and I said 100%, I wasn't talking about you specifically. I feel like I see it. I see
Yeah,
it.
Hannah, you are
No,
getting dumber.
I run into the same thing. They've actually done studies on it about those who become reliant on it. It actually does inhibit your cognitive ability. But that said, it's like if you were to introduce a calculator or Excel,
Mhm.
you know, like no one's using an abacus slide anymore.
Yeah,
It's just it is it is what it is, and it's one of those things where if you're not using it, unfortunately, others that are using it that you compete with in your community are
right.
going to far and away create the gap ahead of what they're doing from a marketing standpoint and what you're not doing.
Absolutely.
And that will show.
Mhm.
If you had some ideas around like something that if I were like struggling to drive growth in my business, what's something that you'd recommend I could do today to start moving in the right direction?
Yeah. I mean, I think we kind of touched on it, but I think,
Mhm.
2 things. One, look at look at who you know, right? Like, look at your sphere. It's full of people that would support you.
Mhm.
But I think what I would ask myself is, do they know what I do? Like, does everybody that I work or I surround myself with know that I do mortgages? Do they know that I work in a referral business? Do they know that I've served X amount of families and I've helped all these families get into homes and that I'm, really good at this? I think that honestly is step 1. And, we have one-on-ones with our mortgage bankers all the time, and it's amazing, like, if you ask, like, "Okay, you're coaching soccer. Do all the parents know what you do?" And you don't have to do it in a creepy way, but, like, you know, have an Atlantic Bay duffel bag and a water bottle and a hat and,
Right.
like, you can swag is there for a reason, but you can also kinda tie it in a little bit, but um I think letting people know, 1, what you do, but the most important part is that it's a referral-based business, like, that's how you get business, and if they like you, they're gonna wanna refer people to you. Like, that's just how it
Mhm.
works. That's number 1. Number 2, and if you haven't gauged this, then I don't know, my team's sick of me telling me this. Social media is a non-negotiable. Like, it's in 2025, and I know my team's sick of hearing me this, but in 2025, if you're not on social, you are just missing a huge opportunity. And when I say be on social, I don't mean go viral. Like, I think there's just been this huge thought behind it. I don't know how it all started, but like, you don't need to go viral. You just need to be where the people are. And
Yeah.
I just heard Little Mermaid in the back of my head, but you just need to be where the people are, and the people are on social. I mean, like, we know that. And there's really easy ways to show up on social and, um, engaging on social. I think, we got caught up on, "Okay, I need to get a business account and I need to sell mortgages on social media." No, you don't. You need to just be yourself and talk about what you wanna talk about, and people are just gonna flock to you because you're gonna relate to people. They're just gonna see who you are. Um, and, y I think if you don't know where to start, and I think you said this earlier, like, if you don't know where to start, just start. Like, I don't know any other way to say it. Just start.
Mhm.
Share your life, and I'll give you an example. If you go to my Instagram, um, you'll see my kids. Like, I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old boy. My life is chaos. Chaos is my brand. But that real life content connects with people. Like, people understand trying to get 3 boys out the door to get to school on time. Or I made a post because I had 2 boomerangs, 2 balls, and a car on my roof. I have no idea how any of them got up there. And I made a post about it, and the amount of, like, DMs and likes and comments and shares, because people have little boys, and that's what little boys do.
Yeah.
So if I was originating, my audience would be families. Like, that's who I
Yeah.
would, market to, and they would see themselves in my story, they would relate,
Yeah.
and that's how I bring them in, and then, like I said, like, when they're ready for a mortgage, they're gonna come to the mom that they see on Instagram. Um, I think that's so important, and I always joke about this. I'm an elder millennial, so, like, I grew up well, I didn't grow up. Facebook started when I was in college, and Facebook started,
Mhm.
you had to have a college email address. You couldn't just get on Facebook when it first started, and it was the whole purpose of it was to connect college students, And social
Yeah.
hasn't changed in that sense. Like, it's just to connect. People don't wanna be sold on social media, and, um,
Mm,
this is something else, you know, consumers don't care about mortgage acronyms. They don't care about product guidelines. Like, they they care about stories. So that's one
yeah.
thing that we're really coaching our mortgage bankers on with their socials is share the story. Like, share the
Mhm.
story of the family that got into their first home while paying off student loans and starting a new business. Whatever the story is, let's just
Mhm.
tell stories of how we're helping families get into homes and stop talking about DTI or some niche jumbo product guidelines because nobody cares.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, people buy into stories, like, since the dawn of time. That's how people communicated.
Yeah.
Like, cave paintings, like, on the walls, they tell stories, like, that's how we communicate, and that's what people buy into.
Mhm.
It just resonates so well. Switching gears a little bit, you mentioned the boomerangs on the roof and the kids, like, your life being a total chaos. Like,
Mhm.
I thought it would be kinda fun to drop you into AI and see what we can come up with.
That's awesome, actually.
This is incredible
I'm
with
gonna
your
need you to
pumpkin
send me
spice.
that.
Yeah, I'll send it over. I always tell people they're as good as, NFTs, but without the value, you know?
It's hilarious. It actually got, like, my hair color almost exact. Like, that's impressive.
Awesome. Well, hey, before we let you go, I wanna give you a chance to give a quick plug on how folks should find you, your own podcast, like, give a quick, minute about what that's all about, and we'll cut off.
Yeah, so if you wanna follow my chaos, I am on Instagram. It's _Hannah_, and you can follow Atlantic Bay. We've got all the channels. But yeah, Lending Forward is our podcast, with Atlantic Bay. We bring on speakers from all over the industry, just lending forward knowledge, forward thinking ideas. They span anywhere from, talking about market updates to executive coaching to business planning to appraisals. I mean, it's a wide range of topics, but we do always task our guests to bring something of value, something forward thinking that our listeners can take away with. So if you want to follow Lending Forward, we are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can just look up Lending Forward. I believe it's Lending Forward Podcast on LinkedIn, but we drop episodes every Thursday, or sorry, every other Thursday. I'd love for everybody on here to check it out. And you guys have actually been a guest. We've had Matthew on. We could have
Yeah.
talked for 8 hours. But yeah,
And he
Matthew
could
and
have
I had
too.
a great time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of insights.
He does.
He's funny, and he can go on for hours too, so I'm sure you could have gone on for 8 hours.
Yeah, he's awesome, and his energy matches mine, so it's great.
He said to me, he said, you need to have on the podcast, like, you need to have on Hannah McManus. She's so fun. She's so fun. I'm like, "All right."
We have a good time. You'll learn that in a couple weeks in Boston.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We got a TMC, event coming up in Boston, so if you're
Mhm.
listening, you're gonna be out there, hit us up. Both Hannah and I will be out there. Matt's gonna be out there as well, but it should be a good time.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks so much for joining us in the lab today, Hannah. It's been a lot of fun. For those who are listening, give her podcast a follow, Lending Forward Podcast. Check it out. And if you need to follow her on all the different channels as well, she's got some really fun content, like she mentioned, around her life. So check it out. Thanks for listening. Thanks again, Hannah.
Yep, thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Evocalize. To learn how Evocalize can help you grow your business, visit evocalize.com. If you learned something new from today's episode, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on X at Evocalize. That's EVOCALIZE. And remember, keep innovating and trying new things. You never know what's going to connect with your audience until you try. And until next time, thanks for listening.